Shut up and sit down.
Hey you Skellywags, welcome back to your 118 Toy News Update, where we'll be covering Joytoy along with Warhammer and the 1.0 versus 2.0 body controversy, Star Wars Vintage Collection, some Hiya toys, and a line called the Rustables. But before that, grab your umbrellas as we're about to head into some Acid Rain World territory. Due for release in January 2023, we have the Black Bees, also known as the AMM, Apis mellifera mellifera. We start off with the leader, Mason, who'd previously been teased via Acid Rain artwork. While many big companies rely on hiring the armies of sovereign nations and high-tech weaponry to transport their goods across the grey zones, the Beehive Honey Company relies on only one small elite mercenary squad, the Black Bees, or AMM, Apis mellifera mellifera, led by the fearsome Mason, the Skullhead. Ever since the employment of Mason and his gang, no one ever laid hands on the bright yellow Beehive convoys under his wing. He is a fearsome, wild, ruthless combatant and a vicious leader. But why is he working for Beehive? No one dares to ask. For now, if you see those bright yellow trains approaching, your best bet is to run and hope Mason doesn't decide he needs a little entertainment. So Mason stands taller than your average Acid Rain World figure at a head higher than normal, and also comes complete with some power arms that you can attach to his lower back. Next we have the Yellow Jacket Captain. The AMM are unique among professional mercenary forces in that most of its recruits are former outlaws and almost all are zoners. These are troops who have never had any sort of organisation or structure in their lives. Mason, the leader of the AMM, knows this. Knows his men need someone with a cool head, someone who will look at the bigger picture, read the ebb and flow of combat and morale, and strike decisively at the right moment. These are the so-called Yellow Jacket Captains, the core of the AMM personally chosen by Mason. Born and raised in the zones, hardened by constant fighting and scrapping for survival, the Yellow Jackets are older and more grizzled and won't take any crap from the other AMM young guns. Add to that the finest tech that Beehive can buy, including armour with an inbuilt computer, as well as a special suite of weapons rewarded by Mason for outstanding performance, and you have a tactical force to be reckoned with. So from what we've seen from power suits previously, this seems to have the most new parts. You've got new shoulder guards there, a new body, armour and helmet. We now move on to the Vespid Vanguard. Out of all the ruthless members of the AMM, the Black Bee Squad that defend the Beehive Company, there are some who, like their leader, revel in the chaos. Born and raised in the grey zones, these once mercenaries and scavengers fear nothing and no one, for better or worse. When the fighting starts, they're the first on the front lines, crashing into enemy ranks, laughing and hooting, competing to outdo each other in the extravagant displays of combat prowess. They are the AMM's rapid reaction force. They are the Vespid Vanguard. Dispatched to protect the most valuable of Beehive goods, the Vespid Vanguard are on top of their foes before they know what hits them. The helmet for this figure was last seen in Stealth Team's Ajax Hoplite video review, now on the channel, which I believe is now mostly sold out in places. Also coming in January is the vehicle, the Swiftwomg Speeder. When Mason put together his Vespid Vanguard crew as the AMM's rapid reaction force, he received complaints that the Speeder Mk1s that they had purchased from Argots were simply too slow for their purposes. They needed something faster and more flexible that could respond with unparalleled speed to small-scale conflicts. Mason listened and responded, putting in a custom request at Laurel Co. in Argot's. The result was the Swiftwomg Speeder MK-L2A, which boasts being the fastest and more maneuverable response vehicle in the grey zones. Its consequent combat success at the hands of the Vespids has led Laurel to consider making the Swiftwomg more widely available. So as I record this, I'm currently waiting for my 2 manga bikes from Acid Rain from Pia Club, but this release also comes with 3 additional visors for variations on the figures. We've got the Glaucus visor, the Seth Ranger visor, and the additional visor that came with the upgrade packs, as well as additional shoulder bicep armor guards. So this will allow for more variation in your army building, creating potential 3 additional characters. Next up we have a tease of Black Soul, collaboration with Acid Rain World, 4A Like Black, and Annex 2179. Not much is known about this except for the few images that we have, and it seems to be a figure in 2 different color schemes, and there'll be a few maybe vehicles that will be available too. So watch this space for more on this to come. Hold on to your hats because we're in for the long haul with some Joytoy updates. So we start off with some non-40k stuff from Joytoy, and I say it in that way because it seems like it's just 40k everywhere at the moment. This is Frontline Chaos from Level 9, Joytoy's 1/12th division. Yes, you heard right. This is Joytoy's first foray into 1/12 scale figures, and it looks like they're leaning into the more anime look, which may be because of the IP. I think it's based off a game. And you've got 2 characters, character here, Lai and Rin, all soft goods. Retailing for about $90 and expected in the next couple of months. The third large-scale mech after the Fear series, we have the Tyrant Mecha 01 from the Sorrow Expeditionary Forces. Yes, I know, the name sounds like an early 90s grunge band, but thank Awesome Action Toys for that name, as he helped out with the translation, which was the best they could come up with, as Pathetique was the original name. Yep, that's right, pathetic in French. Pathetique. I thought I was done with the Xing Shan, but this hefty boy looks really, really tempting. I like the larger cockpit here as well. Looks like they had heard the woes of the previous cockpit and have made a bit more space for the pilot now. He's even got a little driving thing there. The pilot here, I don't know, the feet look a bit weird. Don't mind the robotic arm, but it just looks a bit strange for now. Guess I'll have to see it in hand, or in a review from Awesome Action Toys to see what it's like. This is the 9th Army of the White Iron Cavalry, which is a power suit and sword from Joytoy. I had initially hoped that we'd be able to fit in a 1/18 scale figure into this power armor suit. Upon reflection though, I realised that there's probably no logical way that can be done, as Joytoy have released, since they've been out, a number of different figures in all different sizes really, although all still 1/18. They have made changes throughout the years, so that would simply be impractical to have it as a suit. Instead, it is just a head that's popped into the body there. This may be Joytoy living out their 40k scaling fantasies, with this towering over the Blood Angel here, and the size we got for the Space Marines. This figure actually probably scales better against the normal 1/18 scale figures than the 40k Space Marines do. With so much 40k stuff, it had to have its own section. You ready? The Black Templars make their debut in the form of Bladeguard veterans. As good as this looks, unfortunately this is just a simple colour swap for the debut of the Black Templars Bladeguard veteran. I've done a review of the Ultramarines version with Tough Commander and Arctic Commando, which I'll be releasing soon, but it's been postponed due to a technical issue. Although at first glance the Space Wolves version looks identical, except the colour, it's the most different of the 4 new Bladeguards. There's a few wolf heads on the power pack, and it also comes complete with a plastic cape, furry cape. I've had shipping notification that my first Blood Angel Ranian is in the UK, so I should be receiving that soon. But this Blood Angel's Bladeguard veteran proves that the red and black work in any Space Marine iteration. But this Bladeguard version sports some gold trim and helmet. The Yellow Imperial Fists version fills out your new Bladeguard due for release at the end of June, which is just shy a few colours of a Power Rangers set. All are available now for pre-order at Flyema Toy, Locker Toys, Islanda Toy Store, AliExpress, all that lot. Space Wolves Venerable Dreadnought Brother Vor, Vor. Now this is looking very nice indeed, with all the little details you can see strewn all over the Dreadnought. Articulation looks to be the same as we've seen before, so you won't get that much movement from the legs, but you'll get all the necessary movement you can from a thing this big and chunky and clunky. Ultramarines Redemptor Dreadnought, Brother Dreadnought Tylius. Now this thing looks like a mean mofo. Coming in at 29.8 centimeters, this thing is sure to be a great centerpiece in any Ultramarines display. Due out in September, you'll be forking over quite a bit for this piece of plastic. Just under $200 thereabouts. Keep an eye out on your favourite retailers for the best price for you. Ultramarines Outriders Brother Catonus. This will include your typical loadout, and is being marketed with this Space Marine bike. But does it come in black? Black Templars Outriders with Brother Valtus. Both these bikes looking very nice. So it looks like Valtus and Catonus will be using the body from the Heroes of the Chapter instead of the 2.0, more like 1.5. Look out for an August release. Space Wolves Ragnar Blackmane. I've been working on my own Space Wolves custom, and this puts that to shame. All the little extra detail bits here is just amazing. Makes me want to go back and find other bits to improve my custom. This is probably my most anticipated release on what we're going to see here today. Sticking with the Space Wolves, we have another big boy in Bjorn, the Fell-Handed. This level of detail is something that Space Wolves fans have been craving since the original very vanilla 4-pack release, which is probably the closest we'll get to an artist-proof version. You'll have to wait till October for this fella, and also for Ragnar Blackmane. Wah! The orcs are here, and this is Nob Nazbog, their fearless leader. Using brand new molds and articulation, be curious to see what these guys are like in hand. Sniper Boy Balrog. This guy looks awesome with his sniper. I think him and Nob I'll be getting. Burner Boy Ragrob has a whole canister on his back. I think it would have been good if they included maybe an effects part for the flame. Comms Boy Wagzuk. So it looks like this guy is just a comms person. Doesn't have a weapon. Is that a megaphone or something? Not sure. Does have bullets though. Daka Boy Snariot or Snarit. My main concern with these guys are those awful elbows. Daka Boy Rotbilge. This guy looks like he's the latest recruit for Ocean's 11. The Ork Kommandos will be coming in October. So there was a little rumble in the community recently with the newly announced Space Marine 2.0 body. Main changes being the pauldrons and how they're connected. It's more like the Acid Rain, where it has a bit that goes around the arm joint for more range of movement. And a few other bits that are different too. But the main thing was from this picture showing the size difference. This was initially thought to be the actual size of the 2.0 body. On the left stood next to the Ancient from the Heroes of the Chapter. But it's been said that the actual release will be closer to the Bladeguard seen here, which is smaller. But take that with a pinch of salt, as all three of these figures are supposed to be prototypes apparently. So there might be variation in heights in the actual release. Keep an eye out. We won't really know until we get these things in hand. Speaking of 2.0, we have 6 new figures that are supposed to be utilizing the new 2.0 buck. The first is Primaris Captain Sidonicus. I'm loving that very elaborate headpiece he's using. Sidonicus is the only one of the 6 released that will not have an unhelmeted head. Blood Angels Primaris Lieutenant Tolmaron. Although Tolmaron comes with an unhelmeted head, I'll find it a bit difficult to not use this gold helmet. Imperial Fists Veteran Brother Thracius. For those of you who missed out on the Sword and Shield Imperial Fists guy from before, here's an improvement with an unhelmeted head to boot. Ultramarines Veteran Sergeant Castus. Now I'm not sure if Joytoy are allowed to do a Titus figure, but they have given this guy the likeness of Titus, who is the protagonist of Space Marine and Space Marine 2. Primaris Lieutenant Horatius is wearing armour closest to what we saw in the Space Marine 2 trailer of Titus. His head, however, is completely different. I do like that cyborg looking head. And finally, we have Primaris Lieutenant Amelius. So if you take all three of these figures, the Ultramarines one with the heads, you'll get Titus, really. This head looks kind of like him, but not really, like a weird version of him. After all that grimdark, I think it's time to visit a galaxy far, far away. From the vintage collection, we have Obi Wan Kenobi from the series Obi Wan Kenobi. The series ended up being okay. These figures, though, look brilliant. The head sculpt for this, I'm not too sure of, though. Bosk Bounty did a review, and it didn't look that impressive. Darth Vader from Obi Wan Kenobi series. Although there have been many iterations of Darth Vader in the TVC, this seems to be the definitive version now. Third sister, Reva. To be honest, I thought the character in the show was a bit bland. Figure looks pretty cool though. I might get it just because of that, but they definitely could have done more with her in the show. Mandalorian Dark Trooper. When I saw these on the Mandalorian show, I thought immediately I'd want to get them as action figures. So the 6-inch version I pre-ordered, and then when they announced TVC, I've ordered quite a few from a few different places. Each one comes with this, so you can have them all stored away. As ever with these Hasbro products, they'll be released at some point in the next few months in different places. We now move on to an update from Hiya Toys. First up is Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Leatherface, based off the latest movie, which I still haven't seen. This does look pretty eerie. I think they should also do the original. That one terrified me as a child. From Judge Dredd, we have Chief Judge Caligula. This guy looks a bit more quirky than some of the other releases we'll be getting, but it's always good to have something different. We have yet another bike, but this time the Lawmater Mk2 and Judge Dredd figure together. None of these figures are out yet, but these are scheduled for a 2023 release. We now have a look at something quite different, the Unrustables. Thanks to Clandostino on Instagram for sending me the link to these. The Unrustables are transformable robots. They transform into motorbikes that can hold a 3.75 figure. They're currently on BBTS for pre-order, with this one and the first in orange at $69.99, and are supposed to be released this month. There are 3 transformable robot bikes. This red one is the most expensive of the 3, probably because it looks the best out of the lot. This one will set you back $119.99. You can also get 2 separate pilots or riders in the dark and lighter colours. They look highly articulated and come with a wealth of extras, each priced at $19.99. Let's have a quick update from Boss Fight Studio. We have just 2 figures teased, Sigurd the Barbarian and the one I'm really looking forward to, Female Knight of Asperity. Can't wait to get this one in hand. Little Skelly will be pleased. So that's it for now. A long one, that one. What do you think about all this stuff? All that Warhammer, all these other bits coming out? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. We've got a ton of toys, so planning to do a ton of more videos. So stick around for that, and I'll skell you later.